3, 2, 1. Welcome to Credit Zero.
What? Welcome to After School Arcade! I mean, welcome to the podcast they're in, Credit Zero.
Hey!
Sweet dude.
It's us!
What's your name?
My name's Luke.
What's your name?
Hi, my name's Drew.
What's your name?
I'm Daryl.
What's your name?
My name's Leslie.
Cool.
What are you?
What are you?
What are you?
I am a dude.
What are you?
What? My name is, my online name is Tweed, and my name is Paul.
No, I
That
don't
is
care
it.
about who are you.
What do you care about?
What are you?
I'm a human being.
I'm
not an animal! I'm a human being!
What's your AFK name?
JFK.
Whoa.
AFK, JFK's unironically a good name. I don't know.
Yeah! Boy, that tickled you.
You're so fast!
That's what I do, baby. The other day, I was doing an improv show, and the police were called. And that's, actually true.
On who?
JFK?
On JFK.
You're supposed to be dead!
Blew a hole straight through his head.
Hasn't he had enough?
They blew a second hole through his head.
Let the man die!
And someone mentioned, this isn't possible. I made a joke about, something they had said earlier, and I made it immediately after they said something, and they said, this shouldn't be possible, or something like that.
Wow.
And
So they called the cops on you.
And so they called the cops on me, and I got arrested, and JFK got a whole go through the... they were arresting me, and they went, oh, JFK, well... And then they just shot him.
This shouldn't be possible.
What are you doing here? Die!
No, thanks, pigs! I don't care much for police. Drew, hypothetical. So, if you could be stranded on a desert island, and you had to pick one member of After School Arcade to go with you, who would you pick and why? It doesn't even necessarily need to be the obvious reason of, we get along the most.
So who do I think would have the most survivory skills?
You can interpret it however you wish, my friend.
I feel like the most likely person to have gone to church camp is Luke. So I feel like Luke would have some survivory skills there.
Do you have to survive church?
No, but I mean church camp you'd have some outdoorsy skills from it.
I was a cadet.
Yeah, there was cadets, there's cubs,
I'm going through the list.
bears. Bears.
I'm going through the list of everybody's what they bring to the table.
Okay, yeah.
So and then Paul would have the advantage of having a little bit of martial arts training. So if there
Yeah,
was
I could fight off the island.
I'm gonna kick a pig.
I feel like if anybody was going to win a fight out of the five of us, Paul would probably come out on top out of the five of us.
Yeah.
That's who I would put my money on.
Unless he's fighting from the bottom.
Truth be told,
Now we're here.
I feel like the most struggle I'd have against anybody would probably be Daryl.
Yeah.
What
I
if
don't
we
know
were
why.
fighting someone else?
If I'm fighting someone in this troop,
Oh,
of
but
the
I
four,
feel
this became a
that's-
different question.
To me, that's a pound for pound.
I'm
That's
confused.
what are they called in wrestling and boxing?
Weight classes?
Weight
Yeah,
classes.
we're in
Yeah,
different
yeah.
weight classes.
Yeah, to me that's that question.
I'm taking weight.
No, I'm much heavier than you are.
really?
Oh yeah.
How heavy are you?
I'm pushing 190.
Okay,
Oh my god!
but that's pure. That's pure muscle.
No. Oh no.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was having lunch with Daryl the other day, and he said he was 190.
Ew. He's way undervaluing himself. He's at least 199 plus tax.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
That 190 is a very reasonable rate for an adult man.
Reasonable rate.
It depends. If it's 190 million, I would not buy
That's
Daryl.
too heavy.
Only because I don't have the funds. But if I had 190 million and $1 in my bank account, and someone popped up and said, Daryl Dean's life is worth 190 million, I'd say take it, because I care about you.
Oh.
Also,
That's heartwarming.
Oh.
you should pick Leslie because my church camp was not served.
Sorry.
Paul!
He can fuck any one of you.
She could.
He could.
He could.
Yeah,
he
it's,
could.
it's the Drew question.
But that's gay, though.
Yeah, he's not gay.
To be fair.
If you're on a desert island, a
He's
hole's a hole.
He's a hetero male. Remember the conversation from earlier?
yeah.
That happened off camera.
Mike,
but
this
he's
is happening off camera.
He's also partnered. He can't cheat on his wife.
I'm not breaking up with Julia just because we're on a deserted island.
I feel like you are.
Yeah.
Well, I guess part of that is up to her, to be fair.
Hey, look who didn't turn their phone off
Daryl.
with airplane mode.
It's
You set an alarm for halfway through a fucking podcast?
You knew we were going to be doing the podcast.
What are you doing
what?
at 5:45 today?
We were like, just in case
animal.
we haven't started the podcast at 5:45.
Yeah, that was my alarm to be like, all right, let's get going.
All right, what was it actually?
I said it like 3 days ago. I took a nap.
Your nap was supposed to last 3 days? This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's just a reoccurring alarm
It's been happening every day and you haven't turned it off.
that I haven't turned
Okay,
on.
okay.
That's your
to
own
be,
problem.
To be
I
fair,
am not going on a deserted island with you.
to
Well,
be
my
fair,
phone would die after the first day anyway.
To be fair, a couple of days ago, maybe half a week ago, I had to wake up at 9 a.m. Or like 8:40 for an event, and my phone does the same thing where it repeats every day. And only today did I notice, because I have a bad habit of like turning off my alarm if it goes off and going back to sleep. Only today did I notice, oh hey, the 8:40 alarm happens every morning. Like every morning since, I've just gone like, and then turn it off.
That happens to me, too.
Yeah.
And you've just like become aware.
Yeah, I've only become aware of it now. Speaking of becoming aware, who do you pick?
Well, Daryl's eliminated himself.
All right.
I didn't ask who you would.
190.
Because of my alarm, I'm somewhere.
You've proven
said-
your own stupidity.
He said that.
Oh.
But he clearly has the most.
He's in a
meat.
different weight class. He can drop
That
you.
is true. He is the most edible out of everybody.
No, what I was going to say is that I didn't go to church camp. I went to vacation Bible school, which was daycare.
You went
when
to
I was
fucking
13.
vacation school.
Vacation school.
So
You just
Luke's
learned about
That's
eliminated
the most
himself.
stupid
Just-
combination of words.
Vacation-
school.
Vacation Bible school.
I'm dropping Bible. bro.
No, neither of those three words.
You're
should
not.
be
You're
in
not
the
a
same
Catholic right
sentence.
now.
I would never was.
Yeah. Were you a Protestant right now?
Yeah. Am I a Protestant right now?
Yes.
No.
Drop the Bible because it clearly means nothing to you. So
It meant a lot when I was there.
that's cute. Vacation school. That's what you went to.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so my parents didn't have to weren't worried that I was gonna shove my finger in a socket at home.
Was it like a day camp kind of thing?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just because Dad works in the summertime.
I'm still stuck on the shove a finger in the socket thing. Was this a recurring problem?
No, they were just worried that I couldn't handle myself.
They were worried that hypothetically you might start shoving fingers in sockets and decided Jesus will help.
Yeah.
I thought that sentence was going elsewhere, especially Bible camp.
Oh!
I'm sorry. That's.
Wow.
It just-
You wear the fedora today. Drew, you got
I'm
dethroned.
speaking my mind.
Who'd you pick?
It's between Leslie and Paul because these two have eliminated themselves.
Yep.
I eliminated myself by having my alarm off. Okay, that's it. Has nothing to do
That's
with my
all it
survival
takes,
instincts.
Daryl.
All it
If
takes.
he's this forgetful,
Next thing you know, you leave our fire on at night while we
Yeah.
fall asleep, and then it burns our
Yeah, you need to turn the
makeshift
fire off.
lean-tos and us.
you need to unplug the fire.
Yeah.
So basically, it's between combat skills and cadets.
I feel like cadets would be more useful.
Which I do feel like cadets would be more useful. I was in Boy Scouts growing up, so I feel like there's a little bit of overlap there.
So
We
you can
could
talk
make a
about a
good
lot.
team.
But
Yeah,
yeah.
That's the thing is I feel like we would play off each other better, and I feel like
I can't tie a Windsor knot, dude.
Paul would have.
You guys
You won't
would
have rope.
argue until you fucking died by your own hands or each other's.
I was gonna get this if the conversation was gonna go round table. So forgive me for hijacking this. Drew and I can say for a fact that when we just hang out, it's way different than here because we'll get into petty squabbles and go like, "Oh, fair enough, interesting point," or like do it for like humorous value. I don't think it's ever gotten to the point
Hold on.
in real
Pause,
life.
Pause. We
Yeah.
have to do this officially. Daryl, you're the master of alarms. I want you to give each of these two people 2 minutes to plead their case as to why I should give them the. I don't know why I'm bringing you along to this deserted island. It seems
I'm only
like you
contesting this one very
wouldn't
specific
want to go
point.
to the deserted island.
I'm saying
Fuck
that-
it, you have to spend 2 minutes explaining why
Yeah,
you want to come to the
make him
deserted island
pitch
with
it.
me.
No, I
make
genuinely might
make
pick you
him do it.
because, like, of all the conversations we have, I have a lot of fun, and, like, when we debate, it's
You
usually...
get 2 minutes starting when Daryl gets this alarm
You keep
going.
interrupting my point to go, 2 minutes starting now! And then I
It hasn't
start,
started because he
and then
hasn't
you're like,
started the
2
alarm.
minutes starting
2
now!
minutes
Let's
starting
start it.
now.
Alright. I think that, in general, we actually get along well, and you have good ideas for managing things.
2 minutes well spent.
Yeah.
that
I
was
give
only
no,
15
that's
seconds.
why I was like, don't interrupt me. I'm two words away from finishing my fucking point, dude. All right, Leslie, go.
Alright, it took him 20 seconds. You also have 20 seconds
I'm
to
not pleading the
convince
case.
me.
He should pick Leslie.
Leslie. I also had a point.
All
to
right,
pick Leslie.
go. Starting now.
I have survival training experience in all seasons. I went to survival training camp for a month. I taught survival skills to all the cadets beneath me once I became
thinks you're
15
beneath her.
years old. No, rank wise. I can make all sorts of different huts and shelters for us. I know the lot. There's it.
And your 2
there it
minutes
is.
is up.
Can I make
20 seconds.
Can I make an additional
are
point
you
in
this bad
Leslie's
at
favor?
everything?
My additional point in Leslie's favor is that your skills are martial arts skills, and if you're the only 2 people on that island, that can only be used on you, and that's a
By
liability.
You
each
think
other's
it's gonna be
hand
the Lord of
or
the
your
Flies?
own.
What do you think it's gonna be?
Yes.
I'm a vehement pacifist.
Okay, well, but so what are you doing with the martial arts?
It's
then?
deserted
you're-
like humans, but there's gonna be
What am I
other-
doing with martial arts if I'm not beating up random people? Is that your question?
Yeah.
I'm expecting
Everything
other
else you
wildlife.
do with martial arts, you nitwit.
There's
You're the
other
other
dangers.
person here who's taken martial arts. You asshole.
No, I mean on a desert island.
As in terms
Oh,
of,
as
like,
soon as you enter a desert island, martial arts changes.
Again, it's like you could kick a pig.
I don't want to kick a pig. If I see a
gotta
pig,
eat
I
it.
go, "Hey, pig."
Be on your merry way.
Yeah. What was the thing you were
the
saying?
way I see it is like in terms of being a human instrument, in terms of being his body.
Oh, I'm just a tool to you.
No, what I'm saying is.
Finally, I'm just
Oh.
your tool. Yes, Drew. Yes,
What I'm
Daddy.
saying-
Daddy Fedora.
Oh, I wish I was on a desert island with Drew and he thought of me as his tool.
Yeah, really wish I was on a desert island with Drew and he butt fucked me and said, "You're only a tool," as he did it.
Can I make my final case so we can move on from this stupid ass topic?
You have 20 seconds. Go.
Okay.
Daryl?
It's gonna take too long for me to set it up.
As far as getting the
As far as the
Really? So, as far as the,
as far as the martial arts thing is concerned, the whole point is that you know how to use your body. It's not just about fighting. It's that you can like learn how to climb a tree faster. In the end, I'm picking.
It's not Kung Fu Panda. It's real life.
In the end, I am ultimately picking Leslie because in Paul's pitch, he was basically like, yeah, we'd work together because, like, I wouldn't slow you down. And Leslie was like, I would bring this, 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 and this to the table. And Paul's like, I wouldn't get in your way. So
I don't
I'm going
want-
with Leslie.
I said from the beginning that Leslie had more skills on a desert island than me.
Yeah, he said it wasn't worth it.
Yeah. The
Out of the 2 of them. But actually, I have the most skills because I know how to make a fire. I know how to
Me
make
too.
shelter.
Me too.
You know how to make alarms go off in the middle of our podcast?
Yeah, and then when my phone dies, I'll use it as a weapon.
But I'd be fun.
That's an underrated
Be
comment
on a
right there.
vacation.
I'd be fun. It's like, oh, we got all
Yeah.
these coconuts.
From the beginning, the only thing I was contesting is that, like, we hate each other in real life. Which we don't, I don't think. I mean, you can comment on that later, after the podcast is concluded.
Drew, what's in your hand?
No, hold on.
The same
hold the
thing
fuck
as
on.
every
But one more.
I want to know what everyone else says. Let's try not to spend as much for
yeah.
everyone.
Yes.
So let's not interrupt everyone else. Hey, how's it going, Drew?
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, go, Luke. One person on a desert island from us. Who'd you bring?
You've already heard everybody else's case, so you
Yeah,
know all
okay,
the
well,
information.
Leslie. I was arguing for Leslie before.
All right. Yeah, I'd bring Drew because I think that you make good plans in a scrap, and we get along generally well. And I also think you'd be really good about not you'd be really good about being honest with me. Like, if you genuinely did not want to talk right now, I feel like you'd say it and walk to your half of the island, and I wouldn't have to think like, oh, maybe I should talk to her, maybe this is a thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I get that same sort of feeling from all of you, but I get it the most from Drew.
So, like, if I was ready to talk, I would, like, come talk to you.
Exactly.
I would bring my homeboy Daryl.
No.
Well,
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You think you would, but...
You think you do, but you don't.
particularly because I feel like it would be obviously one of the most stressful experiences for anyone, let alone
Oh, you want
myself.
Daryl to
I would have a
experience
hard
that.
time. No, Daryl would be.
What's that?
I feel like he would be a good voice of reason. You know, he's got that calming voice.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he'll always be chill, even if we're dying of starvation. He'll be like, you know what? This is it. This is what we were meant to do. Like, this is the... Yeah.
Thank you.
You know?
Yeah, and
I
that's
feel
right.
like we'd have a chill time on the island.
That's right, guys.
Like, yeah.
Don't look at me. Alright, well, who'd you bring?
I bring Leslie because
Yeah,
Fuck
in, her,
yeah.
in her explanation of like the whole, should Drew pick her or not, she was like, "Oh, I have all of these fucking skills, guys," and none of you all said that. None of you all said even like,
None of y'all being Paul? Nobody else made a point.
Yeah, touche.
I'll bring up a counterpoint in favor of anyone but me. I would shit myself and go hungry.
Alright.
I have specific dietary needs and I eat a lot.
I feel like...
Don't bring me.
You'd have to have a lot of
I think I just
pheasants.
didn't want to advertise myself because I feel like I'd be bullshitting. Like, I don't think I have many skills that can translate to being on a desert island. I think my skill is with people and with computers, none of which exist in abundance on a desert island.
yeah, you might have one computer,
Like a pocket PC or something like that.
like a wash
Yeah,
on the shore, like in
Palm
fucking-
Pilot.
like in Castaway,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
climactic scene where he found a laptop
PC.
floating in the breeze. And he was like, "Yeah,
Oh, I have bars here.
I can play League of Legends."
This is my friend Dell.
All right, that's all of us answered. Drew, you happen to have some questions from our October show that we can sink our teeth into.
Yeah, questions not asked by Paul.
Yeah, we're, by the way, an improv troupe, in case this is your first episode, and we have this podcast sort of on the side that we do every month, and every month we ask the people who come to our shows to ask us a bunch of questions that we answer on the podcast. Some of them will be inside jokes. Not gonna lie, it's late November. We'll go, okay, and probably skip those.
Oh, you're getting this to me?
Yeah.
What's your first question, Daryl?
First question, and I don't even see a name. Oh, yeah, no, it is. Okay, but they said sincerely yours like it's a letter.
Oh, what are you writing, a fucking email? I'm sorry,
Okay,
this
we'll
bit's
read it
over.
from the top then, like a letter.
Okay. What is your favorite type of terrorism?
What the hell?
International? Domestic? State?
That's the types?
Stochastic? Revolutionary? How we feeling? Sincerely yours, Mr. Charles I. Anaheim Esquire, except
The C, I, and A are highlighted. That's
highlighted
funny.
there.
Religious.
Wasn't that was that an option?
That wasn't an option. Well, he just they are giving just like
Oh,
examples.
just-
Yeah, the CIA is not one person.
What was staccato? What was the
CIA's
what
they
was
them.
the-
Stochastic terrorism, dude?
I don't know what that is.
Stochastic.
Okay,
actually.
yeah, can someone explain what every one of these are?
Religious? It's a
What,
religion.
religious capitalism? Like,
No,
what?
terrorism.
Religion was the only one that wasn't on there, my
Terrorism.
friend.
Oh, holy shit, bro.
Okay.
Domestic, international. International's like in between countries.
Very good. Yes, yes, yes.
Domestic is like the Oklahoma
the
City
country.
bombing, like like school shootings and stuff.
My favorite.
Yeah.
State, what's stochastic? Is that what you're
I have an idea of what it means, but I'm looking it up just to make sure.
I'm in a similar boat. I don't really know what it means.
And I don't really like terrorism. But if I had to choose,
I'm not stoked on it. I'm not stochastic on it. Very stochastic of you.
I choose revolutionary.
Okay, why?
To make a statement, if you're gonna do it, at least do it for a reason, not a
interesting.
good reason, but like.
Pretty sure all terrorists.
Okay, so I
Yeah,
was definitely
but-
wrong on this, so I'm glad I looked it up.
This is a tough question.
Stochastic terrorism is basically a systematic othering of a certain people in order to incite violence on them eventually.
Sweet.
So
Definitely not that one.
So I hate to be a downer, but you know how like there was a recent shooting in Colorado, and there was a bunch of like really awful people online that were like, well, all those people were LGBT, so they were groomers anyway, so it's good that they got shot up.
Yeah,
So
or
that
like,
would be
or
systematic.
That would be
Yeah.
stochastic terrorism,
Or
where
even, like-
they were just like eventually, like, because over time, like over the last decade, those exact same people were like, I don't like the LGBT. I bet there's a bunch of groomers in there, and then eventually, like, they didn't respond at all to a shooting like this until now. Like the Pulse nightclub shooting
Yeah.
wasn't really, it didn't have that
just
same
shut up,
rhetoric.
yeah.
But now this time specifically, they were like, no, they're groomers, so it's good that the pedophiles got shot, and like
Yeah.
that is 100% stochastic terrorism.
So it's almost like inciting violence.
yeah.
But it has to specifically involve othering people.
Right. right.
So, like, inciting violence against just, like, the United States would probably not be stochastic terrorism, but, like, encouraging further shootings like the Colorado one would probably be stochastic. Boy, this is a bummer. Then again, this question, if you answer it earnestly, has to be a bummer anyway.
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty,
Yeah.
a pretty
I like-
question.
Can you answer it earnestly?
I didn't like 9/11.
But
Yeah, I
no,
didn't-
that's not the question. What is your favorite?
You're one of the good ones.
What is
Culinary.
your-
Culinary terrorism. Yes.
Laxatives.
Yeah. What's the most harmless terrorism? Failed. I like failed.
Yeah. Good answer. Good answer.
Can we move on, please?
Also, I like how they wrote it like a letter signing off like sincerely yours, but they didn't address it. There's no dear after school arcade or anything.
Yeah, poor format.
Literary
Yeah.
terrorism.
For shame.
Try again, CIA.
Yeah. Thank you. Anyway, next.
Next. I looked all over town, all around. I didn't see you anywhere. ... Where'd you go bad? Where'd you
Where'd
Where-
you go, bud?
where'd you
This is a great start for questions.
Where'd
What's your
you go,
favorite kind
bud?
of terrorism and nonsense?
and then it says come back, please.
Oh no, it's our stalker. What even is a bit I can reply
Yeah, I
this
don't
with?
know.
Did they put their name?
No, it says,
No.
come back, please.
Well, you let me
Please is their
know
name?
who you are and when we'll come back.
I looked all over town, all around. I didn't see you anywhere.
Oh my god, he's in the house.
Where'd you go, bud? Where'd you go? Come back, please.
Drew, if like a guy approached you at midnight
With that many jowls?
with that many jowls and these many words, how would you send him away? Because you would.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, approach me at midnight, so presumably I'm going for like a late night walk.
No, you're in your home.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Is this your mom?
I don't live with my mom.
I don't live with my mom.
I don't live with my mom. Are they knocking on my door, or am I like playing video games and I turn around and they're in my?
Are they knocking on your door or are you playing video games?
Well, one or the other, Paul.
Let's go with video games.
So I'm playing video games and I turn around. They're in my kitchen and
Okay.
they say that.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
You're just like, I'm here playing
I
video
was
games,
right
man.
here the whole time.
Oh, that's romantic. Careful, you might encourage them.
What's the ending line?
Please.
Give me the full line read, Paul.
Come back, please.
Yeah, where'd you go, bud? Where'd you go? Come back, please.
Well, you have to see the way they're spaced out. It's
Yeah,
kind of like a
trust
poem.
me. When I say please is the last line, it's the last
Oh,
fucking
it is
line.
like a poem.
Yeah,
oh my
it's
god.
like T.S. Eliot.
It's like spaced and everything.
Yeah.
It like drifts off at the end.
Yeah.
Where'd you go, bud? Where'd you go? There's a sad face. You didn't mention the sad face.
I tried to communicate it in my delivery.
No one
Jowls.
says sad face.
Yeah, but you could draw attention to it.
Let's move on to the next fucking
wow.
question.
Not a question, by the way.
Yeah, can I have a
Not
question?
a question. I guess you did get cheated.
Nope. We go in order. You know the rules. Trust me. Trust me. These are all just. Oh, this is okay. Oh, we talked about this. Evan asks, "What?" And literally, it says Evan asks. I like that. What's your biggest pet peeve while driving? Leslie and I talked about this on the way over.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you go first then, so I can think of something?
Well, you can talk about your demonstration of it today.
Yeah. I was kind of annoyed because I was on the way here. I got gas because I live a fair amount away. So after I got gasoline, the gas station is like next to a four-way turn. So you have to turn out of the gas station, and then there's immediately like a four-way thing. So like there's basically I turn out, there's a road, and at the like after a few meters, if that, is a four-way stop. So there was a guy coming up to the gas station, and he had his turn signal on. Like he was going to go into the gas station, and he was slowing down coming into it. And I figure, okay, he's going to turn in, I'll go the other way, out the same exit. And so I start going out. Dude slams on the horn. He's going straight through. His turn signal was for the eventual four-way, not to go into the gas station. And, like, that's a miscommunication, so whatever. Like, we slow down, we go like, oh, okay. But the guy slammed on the horn and stopped in front of, like, the way out of the gas station while there was, like, space in front of him. So he was like, what are you doing, dude? Based on what I believe is an error he made. Because, like, in my opinion, if you're putting on your turn signal, you're signaling that the very next opportunity you can turn, you're taking.
Especially if you're slowing down so much.
Yeah,
Be slow enough to go into that turn.
Yeah. So, like, even if he's going to that four-way, it's his obligation not to put the turn signal on approaching the gas station, but to put the turn signal on immediately after, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like mildly like, oh, that was a miscommunication on our parts. The thing that pisses me off about driving is that so many people have this idea of what's supposed to be correct, and they get angry at anyone for not adhering to their rules,
Even if they're not doing anything wrong. It's just...
Yeah. And, like, again, I can concede that, like, maybe I should have, like, waited for him just in case or something like that, but the fact that he, like, stopped in front of me, waiting for me to lock eyes with him, going like, hey, dude, what are you doing? Like, that pisses me off, because it's like...
wasting time for what could have just been glossed over.
Exactly, yeah. Just to make sure that he communicated with me that he's angry because he did the wrong thing.
Yeah, that sucks ass.
That's dumb.
Yeah, I will admit, I think that I fully believe that I'm in the bottom 50% of all drivers, but I'm also kind of proud of the fact that I don't think I've used my horn once to, like, communicate what are you doing to someone, largely because a lot of these things are just sort of like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing, no harm, no foul, because we didn't collide or anything like that. And I think my biggest pet peeve is that other people are so quick to anger and so quick to see themselves as judge, jury, executioner when it comes to, like, who's doing the right thing on the road. Annoys the fuck out of me.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I'm one of those people.
That gets mad?
I get irrationally mad
Me
at
too.
people. And it's not that I think that they've done something wrong, it's that the stakes are so high, especially like on the highway. It's like, you know, anybody like cutting you off at highway speed is like, well, shit, like something really bad could have just happened.
Okay, so who was in the wrong in that gas station escapade that I described?
So it depends on how far away the intersection is, right? Like you were expecting that person to do something based on their turn signal.
Yeah, because they were
Right.
slowing up to the gas station and had their turn signal like they were going to go into the gas station.
But you don't know, even without the turn signal, you don't know what they're going to do until they do it. And
That's
so
why we have turn signals.
sometimes people don't use them. And then where are we?
Well, he used his.
You just used it a little bit too early.
Yeah.
And you predicted something. Basically, he still used it in the correct instance. You just predicted the wrong time that he was going to use it.
Yeah.
Or for the wrong instance.
So I'm in the wrong.
I think you're both wrong.
Okay, I'll accept that. As long as I'm not solely the one in the wrong, because I would have contested
And
you
the
on
only
that.
reason he did something wrong was because he stopped in front of you.
Yes, 100%. Like I said, that is the one thing that I thought was like everything else up to that point. If we like stopped and went like, oh, okay, I see what we were both were doing, and then just went along, fine. But yeah, there were like cars like coming up behind him, like waiting, and he stopped in front of me just to make sure like he let me know like, oh, you're the one in the wrong.
Yeah, and so like this leads into why what I find so like frustrating is that people that love to like brake check, or they'll like ride your bumper or whatever on the highway, and it's like, okay, well, you're not going fast enough, so I'll go around you, and then I will do something dangerous in front of you. And it's like, come on, like we're all trying to get somewhere here.
Yeah.
I was gonna
right?
say that's mine when people like ride your ass, and then especially when they're like aggressive about it, like they'll ride your ass and then they'll honk their horn.
Yeah.
They'll fuck your anus. What about you, Luke?
I don't drive that much,
But?
I'm driving more and more. And the thing that pisses
Whoa!
Crazy world we live in.
an amazing sentence. Yeah,
Which doesn't even approach what the question was.
I guess what annoys me about driving is
I would
that
have loved it if you ended it there. Just like, what's your biggest pet peeve while driving? I don't drive all that much, but I'm getting more into it.
I hate it.
I guess what annoys me is just that when too many things are happening at the same time.
Yes.
I get I'm not very good with that in any aspect of my life.
That's what I hate about this podcast.
Oh my
Oh
god.
my god!
Do I need to cut that out?
Drew with the shade.
Here, I'll cut out the part with the N-word in it. I'll just keep it at, it's what I hate about this podcast. Anyway, Drew, speaking of demographics you hate,
Wait, you're gonna cut that out?
well done, Daryl. I think I've got a prediction for what you, because I think you mentioned it in a previous podcast.
It's possible I've said something else. I don't know if I've said this specifically before, but it's something I was thinking about because it's happened to me recently. It's probably the most petty pet peeve of driving. Things
That's the
that
name of the
annoy me
game.
while driving. But I really don't like when pedestrians are overly generous when crossing the street.
Fuck you, man. Today,
Really annoying.
okay, today on my way home from work, I had to cross the entrance to a parking lot. And so a lady was coming in to turn. Generous. But as she was coming in to turn, it would have been way faster if she just completed her turn and went in.
Oh, I know.
And I went, no, you go. And she went, as she did. And she went, thank you. But a lot of times they're like, no, you. And I'm like, no, you fuck. Like, I'm a pedestrian more often than a driver.
See,
so
and-
that's my side.
And in a really chill...
Always a bridesmaid.
in a really chill, like just two-person situation, totally fine with that. But when it's a really busy street, and like I'll give you an example. I don't know if I can paint the picture super well, but there's like a car at a stop sign turning left. There's a pedestrian going to cross in front of that car, and there's a busy street with cars speeding by going straight, and I'm trying to turn left, and I would be hitting the pedestrian that's crossing the street. And I'm waiting to turn left, but the pedestrian is just sitting and standing there waiting to cross, and they can fully cross all they want, but they're not crossing.
Lean
at all.
in! We were signaling to him for that entire story to lean in.
I grabbed him and he resisted.
That's when it annoys me, is when I'm trying to limit the amount of variables, kind of like what Luke was talking about in terms of clearing up the amount of different things that are going on. That's like muddying up the situation, that's adding the amount of variables. This pedestrian's adding to the noise, adding to the amount of things that are going on. They could just cross the road, add one less thing going on, and make my life so much easier. But they're like, no, I'll just wait. I'll let you go first. It'll be fine. I'll be nice. And I'm sitting there at the wheel like, just fucking go so I can go.
I will admit, that's not what I thought it was going to be. I thought that your biggest pet peeve was rubbernecking.
I don't like rubbernecking.
Hey,
That's a
I
term
have-
you taught me.
I
know
have
before.
thought about that every time I've seen it now.
Really?
And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's rubbernecking. I know there's a term for that now.
Every time I hear the term rubbernecking, I always think of just like some guy going like, whoa.
or like turning 360 degrees.
Glad to have made an influence on.
Oh, hell yeah. Daryl, did you answer? Yes, you did, didn't you? Did we all answer? I believe we did.
Yeah.
All right.
Mine was really good.
Yeah, it was. You driving more.
Yeah. Yeah, more and more, but not a lot still.
Speaking of driving, this next question comes from
Evan asks,
another one.
Evan? Do we have two Evans?
I think it's the same Evan. It looks like the same handwriting.
Yeah.
okay, Evan asks, would you
Nope, do it.
classic, would you rather fight 100 chicken-sized horses or one horse-sized chicken?
I feel like we've had this question
but it was-
I think it was about
before, but
No,
with
no.
It was
ducks.
It was geese.
Oh,
wasn't
it was geese.
No, we
yeah.
just had like how many geese could you kill?
Yeah.
What?
Okay, can we agree that 100 of anything would be deadly challenging, and it would
Yeah.
be better to just fight one something, even if it's bigger?
People die from 100 bees.
Yeah.
They're tiny.
That's a really good point.
Yeah, it's gonna be more effortful to kill the one thing, of course, but I mean, it definitely
at least have a
you
chance.
can't
You get a spear?
underestimate how
Like I feel like
powerful
one
many are.
horse-sized chicken could probably kill you though. Like the beak, the claws.
Yeah, but you
get
know,
sliced up by
pull a
normal
feather, freak it the fuck out,
And this
jump
is
on
like-
its back.
This is 100 really, really small horses. Horses still have really good, like, muscle mass and, like, strong hind legs.
They're very
Oh, their
strong.
teeth will fuck you if they
Yeah,
bite you.
and
They're,
very-
so
they're
bad.
very
Teeth will
masculine.
fuck you.
They're very.
Have you ever gone into a horse's mouth? It will fuck you.
I don't think that horses bite that much.
They do sometimes.
They
yeah.
can, yeah.
They hurt.
Okay, question.
Yeah.
Of all of us, how many of us cares for horses on the weekly? Oh, what's that? One of us? That's neat. Horses don't bite. I've fed horses by hand. I've never gotten bitten by a horse once in over a decade.
Question: How is the question worded? Is it fight this many horses?
Yeah, I was looking at that.
Because
Fight. It's fight
are
specifically.
they default aggressive?
I'm thinking default aggressive. Otherwise, we're gonna get too like fanciful with it.
Because
so
it's like-
they are default aggressive,
Yeah.
and it's 100 chicken-sized horses or one horse-sized chicken. Granted, a horse-sized chicken sounds difficult as shit to fight. I'd still rather go with the one chicken, because if I can like run to the nearest like cannon or something like that, I've got a fighting chance.
The nearest cannon.
I'm just thinking like this is already
That's where your mind went.
Locate your
This
most
is-
immediate cannon.
This is a video gamey style thing like that. Like this feels like a video game boss style scenario. So I'm thinking
just
like
do
we're
tower
in an
defense
arena.
rules?
Yeah, we're in an arena. I need to find all of the things in my environment that can like beat. I've been playing a lot of Bloodborne recently, so yeah, I'm thinking like one horse-sized chicken. I think all of us agree, rather than like 100 chicken-sized horses
No.
that are all aggressive. Are you serious, Daryl?
Yeah.
Are you going to be this fucking whatever? I'll hear you out.
All right. Chicken-sized horses. Now it depends on what kind of a chicken we're talking here. If it's like a farm chicken, those are pretty like.
Farm chicken. We're talking farm chicken. Let's not make it complicated.
Are
We're
we-
not talking-
But like if it's a Cornish hen, though.
I was just about to say Cornish hen. I was like, don't say Cornish hens, and you beat me to it, you son of a bitch.
But what if it's like a free-range chicken? Because those aren't so like chunky.
I'm going to kill you. Answer the question like a normal human being.
Okay.
What if it's an Antarctic chicken?
What if you're on the moon?
The size of,
at the International Space Station and there's chickens?
the danger of a real size horse is their legs because
Sized horse.
of like a normal sized horse is their size.
You know, horse-sized.
It's their legs. Like their legs are so powerful, like they could just like kick your head in and you're just that's it.
Yeah.
But because they're so small in this scenario, you know, the damage that they could do, even if it's like 10, 15, 20 at a time. You
And
know,
it's not. It's 100 at one time. They're all aggressive towards you.
Yeah, all right. But, you know,
Yeah,
it's a
I
little
told them
bit.
This could still be death by 1,000 easy.
Also, if you have
They
a
could.
cannon, you don't think he could have a foot-high wall?
Oh no,
He
that
could
was just a
hide
throwaway
behind?
line. That was just a throwaway line. I don't actually assume I've got a cannon, but I was just gonna answer like, I'd rather do this. I hope there's a cannon nearby, and not.
I'm just
But
gonna
in the
cross my
specifics
fingers.
of this one aspect of the chicken, which the horse, by the way, is not. The horse is a horse, of course.
Yeah. Wait, this is in like the octagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is in the octagon. We're fighting in that like
Alright.
new thing that they're building in Egypt. Is this what you're talking about when you say
No,
the
I'm
octagon?
talking the octagon like a fighting arena.
Coliseum.
It's a cage.
Paul has never
no,
watched
no,
UFC.
not the Coliseum.
That's not untrue, but also like the octagon is like a thing in Egypt they're making. So I thought Luke was making like a geopolitical. He often makes those, to be fair.
The
That's
octagon
true.
is like a cage fight.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a cage fight.
And so in that
So I guess they're not free range.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Bone saw is ready.
Remember that?
Bone saw is ready.
Wait. That's Macho Man Randy Savage. I know that much.
Yeah.
Macho.
You don't know? Have you ever watched UFC?
Yeah, but he's
UFC.
Is it not called
Ultimate
UFC?
Fighters Club. That's like MMA.
He said UFC first. You're laughing when I say
that's
it?
the cage fight. That's like the octagon, right?
Okay, sure.
Right in there.
Macho Man Randy Savage is like the Rock, Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Yeah.
He's like the Undertaker. It's like fake wrestling.
Yeah. I like the Undertaker. He's cool.
Yeah, UFC is like mixed martial arts, like George St. Pierre. And
He said it. He
Yeah,
said it.
that's
UFC.
But we were talking
Don't
about
look
the
at me.
octagon. The octagon is only in UFC. They don't have like a WWE octagon.
I agree with what you just said. Let's all remember that the original question was, would you rather fight 100 chicken-sized horses or one horse-sized chicken?
Okay, but you see now the parameters are in a cage. Horses can't climb.
That's not part of the
cages.
question. We can't assume that's part of it if you just
I
decide
thought we just
that.
established this already.
Okay.
You
Assume-
established this. You established this. I could
fighting
again,
in a cage match.
What if you're on the moon? Is my go-to example for what you're doing right now.
There's too many variables.
Yeah,
Assume
just
you're
this.
in a flat fucking field with no other objects other than you and the opponent.
no
okay.
cannon,
Yeah.
no
Alright.
UFC,
Yeah.
no octagon.
Butt naked.
yeah, you're butt
butt
naked.
naked.
You're butt naked, and if you run around, you'll come out the other side like asteroids.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, that might be a variable in of itself.
What?
Because then you can use it strategically.
Oh, okay.
So whatever, you're
confuse
just
the chicken.
you're just in a flat fucking field with either 100 small things or one big thing. What do you pick?
It's the size of the horse that's dangerous. If the horse is small, I don't care how many of them there are. A big chicken has like claw, whatever.
Talons.
Talon? Is that what a chicken
Oh,
has?
yes.
They have
Those would be
talons.
bad.
They have sharp beaks. I mean,
I agree, it's still bad, but I still maintain that like even like Shetland ponies can be really fucking dangerous, and they're like probably genuinely the halfway point between a fully grown horse and a chicken. I've seen them; they still get really dangerous. 100 again. Luke's point is, I agree 100% with you. 100 bees can kill someone. If you manage to get that one lucky shot in the probably uncoordinated chicken's talons, granted, really tough, you can probably survive.
Is the
but
chicken
like,
used to being horse size, or is it newly?
yeah,
horse
yeah.
size?
We can only assume that it's used to being horse sized.
Because that changes things.
Yeah, but
all
like,
of these variables change.
Why
things.
do we
yeah,
have to keep
that's why I'm trying.
changing
That's why I'm
things?
trying to keep it as consistent as possible. If 100 things are like aggressive towards you, I think you're more likely to die than even you're absolutely correct. Sharp talons, beak. Chickens are pretty damn territorial, if I'm remembering correctly. Those things are all definitely factors, but one really lucky like strike of yours could probably take down the chicken. Luck wouldn't even be a factor in 100 things. You'd need astronomical amounts of luck to survive if they're all hell-bent on killing you.
Okay, here's another thing about horses.
Yeah.
They have no way of climbing up. All they're gonna do is be kicking at my shins.
What are they climbing up?
Like the rest of my body. Like, hello,
Yeah,
it's a chicken-sized horse. It's really small.
Yeah, they can tear the flesh off of your legs, and you
Maybe,
can bleed the fuck
Also,
out.
Maybe.
just endurance. There's 100 of them. They tag in.
Didn't horses used to eat people?
They're
I saw that in a
herbivores.
horror movie once. They
herbivores.
swallowed them like spaghetti.
Another,
It
another
freaked me
thing
out.
that I
them like
didn't consider
spaghetti?
until now, I watched a documentary
Lady and the
on. I watched a documentary on how realistic The Walking Dead is. I'm getting somewhere with this. In episode 1, the zombies like tear through the horse's stomach. And the person who's like fact-checking all of this goes like, now an interesting thing about horse skin is that you actually have virtually no way of piercing it with a human hand because horse skin is that thick. And this is something I'm connecting now. Even small horses, their skin wouldn't be like that much thinner. It would be really challenging to kill even one of these 100 horses compared to a chicken, which I believe has pretty thin skin.
But they got feathers.
They got them feathers, so that's definitely something to take into account.
Yeah, but the
like,
smaller
punches
ones
wouldn't
you
be
can
that
also get impact power in, right? You can just kick them all.
That's true, you
Yeah.
can kick the horses away.
I'll grab one small horse with one hand and one small horse with the other, and I'll just be like,
I think an important factor.
Daryl whips his arms around in front of him.
I think
thank you for the descriptive audio.
for the visually impaired people who listen to podcasts. I think the swarm factor is important though too. One zombie is pretty easy to outsmart, but in every zombie movie, it's like, oh no,
they
they're
always
at-
fall to 100, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like, oh shit, I forgot about the back door. and like shit like that. Like it's hard to.
My anus.
Oops, are you gonna fuck me?
I guess you know what. Let's include this diplomatically.
Yeah.
There are way too many variables, and I think we've just definitively proven there's no way of us knowing because we need to be in that situation first to account for everything.
There's
Is that
obviously
fair?
no right answer.
Mythbusters.
Right.
Yeah. We need to myth bust
Randy
this.
Savage on
Yeah, we need to shrink a lot of horses and grow one really unlucky chicken.
Okay, let's divide this workout.
Okay.
Yeah.
You Luke handle the chicken.
Yeah,
You
I ate
Drew
half a
hand-
chicken earlier. Do you want some?
that's too small.
That's
You
too
Drew
small.
handle
It was a big-
shrinking the horses,
All of
and
them?
the rest of us will supervise.
No.
I-
Fucking middle management. All right, we're moving on to the next question.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
That one's for you, Drew.
Answer that question to death. All right, this question comes with some doodles, and it's from Suze.
Okay.
Soozles.
Soozles. It comes with some Soozles. Do you want your next... what the fuck is that?
Very good.
Inset?
Routine of exercise.
Do you want your next inset? In-seat?
Yeah, it would be in. I think it would be insect because I think centipedes is in there. Yeah. Okay. I know what it says. I'll let you read it though. That word is insect.
Insect?
Yes.
That's a C?
Yes. It's bad, but yes.
There must have been some sort of insect in our
Do
show.
you want your
Get
next?
over
I
it.
see now, yeah.
Right the quest.
We're recording this late, Drew. We gotta hurry the
You
fuck up.
want your next insect overlords to be centipedes or wasps?
There we go.
Centipede.
Great job, you lolly freaks.
Oh.
Is lolly spelt the exact way I think it is?
I think it means like laugh out loud.
How'd you get lolly from?
Maybe she
Oh,
means
this is
jolly.
so suspect. The letter after.
L-O-L-I.
That's not an O. That's an I.
Hi.
What?
You read that and saw the word lolly, my friend.
L-O-L-I.
Ooh, a little Freudian slip.
Lil freaks.
L-I-L
Is this an O?
Oh no, Drew! You just saw what you wanted to see, man.
Yeah, dude, that's-
L-O-L-I.
That's L-I-L with the doodle under it. That's clearly an I after the first L.
That looks like an... Okay, I
all
can
know
see
what
how that
Drew's
looks like
into.
an O.
Drew, go back to fucking animals. Please.
Hope Robert.
I don't want this to transition into... That's so not what the word lolly is. That is so removed from what the word lolly
That's what
is.
it looks like.
See,
I'm gonna have to make a difficult decision in the editing room because this is so incriminating, but so fucking funny and so fucking Drew of you.
See, I thought she meant like L-O-L-E, and I thought like, oh, maybe that's what the
L-O-L-E
kid.
freaks?
Yeah, like L-O-L.
LOL-E freaks, like we're on the internet.
Yeah.
All right, I want wasps because if I'm being ruled over by something, I don't want them to be goofy. Wasps are cool and scary.
Are they-
Centipedes are like.
Are they like little centipedes? If they're centipedes, I'm imagining they're the kind of centipedes that like crawl into your brain and like control you from the inside.
That's not a thing with centipedes. That's
No,
ants.
That's a prion.
Well, they're the next
Oh yeah, that's true.
overloads.
Yeah, the ants are the things that get control.
Yeah, they don't crawl
Yeah.
into the brain.
Yeah, the
They're controlled
earwigs.
by cordyceps fungus.
I'm imagining the next overlords as in some sort of sci-fi shit, not as in things that exist in the world right now.
I was picturing just bigger versions of the same.
yeah.
Like
Yeah, me
big
too.
wasps or big centipedes.
Yeah.
Oh, like they rule over us through brute force?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh.
the centipede would be like 20 feet long and be like, hey guys, go move those boxes over there. You're like,
okay.
shit.
Yeah, but then the wasp has a big stinger and it flies.
I'm not doing this on a like what's best for me thing. Like when it comes to like our next overlords, I see it more being wasps because like wasps can fly, they're more efficient, and also I think they're more aggressive by nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm pretty friendly with centipedes. I've had a couple like crawling on me before, and like after researching like centipede stings hurt like a bitch, but they really only do it as a last resort. It turns out. So like
Not the ones in my house. Not the ones in my house.
How
no,
many
they
centipedes
just
you
sting you
been bit by,
willy-nilly.
boy?
They're mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they brown or are they gray?
Both.
The gray ones don't bite. That's an urban myth.
Says you.
Says I indeed. Look it up.
I got some aggressive centipedes in my house.
If they're biting, they're not centipedes. They're probably silverfish.
Are you confusing them with like house centipedes?
It is. Yeah.
Ones
it's
the
in my
big
house.
legs?
Okay, there are
Yeah,
two types of centipedes.
Okay,
I
is
know.
it
They're the fuzzy
ovaline
ones.
and then has like
you talking
big,
about dogs?
long legs?
Oh yeah, that's right. I was talking about dogs.
The fuzzy ones.
Yeah, the
How's centipedes
12-legged
like
dog.
the really big ones? They don't sting, right?
Yeah, no, they have the longo legs coming out of them. They look kind of like a daddy long leg mixed
Yeah,
with a
yeah.
centipede
Yeah,
fucking
those
around.
ones- yeah, those
yeah,
ones
they
don't sting.
eat
Yeah.
lots of bugs. They're nice to have
They're-
around. They do not bite.
The brown ones, if you're talking about
Yeah,
the brown ones,
the ones they got like this little
yeah.
like
Those-
pincer in the
yeah,
front.
they got them nasty bites. I have discovered at one point I was like freaking the fuck out because I was like, I was really tired and I saw a brown centipede and I was like, are they really that bad? And he started crawling on me and immediately I went, what if it bites me? What if it stings me? This sucks. I can't freak out. He'd get frightened. So I just let him crawl all over me and the dude didn't bite me. And it tracks with what it said on Google. So I just sort of like went. I kind of like did the wave with my hands and then let him off at the next train stop, which was my desk. And he was very happy to find like a crumb of food on my desk. It was actually a kind of cute moment. But yeah, that's anecdotal evidence. Whatever. I do not doubt that you have had bad experiences with centipedes. A lot of people have.
I got bit. I don't know. If
it hurt?
If none of y'all got bit, that's fine. But
I got bit as a
deserve it?
kid by a centipede,
I got
and it
bit by
fucking scared me of centipedes.
Yeah. What did you ask me?
Did you deserve it?
Yes.
What'd
you
you
were
do?
fucking with them?
I don't. That's too embarrassing.
Drew just admitted to liking kids.
I never.
One more on the list. There we go. Okay.
Quota fulfilled.
Which would I rather have?
As Overlord.
I would rather have a wasp because, again, centipedes. I got bad experiences. That would
Good
that would just be-
experiences with wasps.
And
Yeah.
you
Well,
want to
better.
choose wasp because you have a clean slate. You
Yes.
don't have any baggage.
That's right, and you know.
That's gonna cause baggage, though. If you wanted to like overrule the overlords and you really wanted like a personal motivator, maybe centipedes would help bring that to the forefront.
Yeah, see, I knew you guys would go in this direction, but that's not what it is.
You're
okay?
right. They're overlords. They're not like
They're not-
things that can be easily overruled.
Yeah, you shouldn't be thinking which one do you want to overrule.
Yeah.
So like that's the one you should pick. This is your reality.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
ruled by them. It's
spec-
over.
we're
You are the
specifically-
slave of the bug.
We're
Which
specifically
one would you
asking.
rather already
Propagandists
be
right
on?
here.
We're specifically asking which one
You're
would we
not
want to
following
like
the way the
be
buck.
an overlord because they're an overlord, not because they're some wimpy idiot that we can supersede. Otherwise, I'd pick like what's the name of Wimpy from Popeye. I'd want him to be my overlord.
I want Snoopy from the Peanuts comics.
I want Garfield. I'll poison his lasagna.
Yeah, this was stupid. I'm sorry. It seems like most of us went with wasps then.
I centipede.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say the
I
I feel
like
like wasp would be
centipedes.
the scarier one because they're like you social. And
Yeah,
Overlord,
that's what I'm
baby.
saying.
But I would prefer.
But I don't want a
centipede.
violent overlord. Why would I
prefer
want a
centipede?
Yeah.
But like,
They're still
The
your
wasp would
overlord.
be
no
They're
matter
both
what.
insects. They're both like bug brains.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
both bug brains. They're both overlords.
Yeah.
It's not like oh this one will be a better experience.
Yeah.
They're both
they're both
bad.
terrible.
Yeah,
but
if-
like,
if they're your-
Viva La Resistance wise, I feel like
He's answering the resistance wise. This is what you just said, Daryl.
Go back to the terrorism question.
Go back to the lolly thing.
yeah. What's your favorite type of terrorism? Insect terrorism.
Man, if you said that
But,
louder, people would be laughing right now at home.
Yeah, but now it's just you.
Welcome to Credit Zero, where everything's an inside joke.
It's just for us. I feel like if there was a resistance, though, we shouldn't tell Daryl because he'd be a snitch.
Yeah, as a wasp sympathizer.
Whatever,
All right,
guys.
next
Whatever.
question.
I don't like bugs.
Who does?
It sounds like you do.
Ooh, that's
secretly.
a nice little drawing.
This is from Suze.
Again?
I'm so disgusted by it.
Ugh! I hate
You're
Suze.
back.
To be fair,
She's
I,
friends with a pedophile.
I only gave. I only gave everybody one cue card, which means that somebody gave these people two. Like
These people.
they gave their own cue card to somebody else.
I think I watched that happen, if I recall.
And you didn't
The-
stop it?
No, I did not.
You were to blame.
Probably. What's the question, Daryl?
Okay, so there are two questions, which Suze has now asked 3 questions.
Yeah, you're kind of getting greedy, Suze.
Right.
And you're
first,
friends
I'm going
with,
to
technically it's an ebiophile or whatever that meme is.
I'm going to describe the picture because there's another doodle here. It looks like some sort of like ghosty apparition, and where their nipples are, there are a couple of pacifier type little pictures there, and it says nip nap.
Nip nap?
Nip nap.
Suze is a horny bitch.
All right. Well, we don't know. We don't know.
That's fair.
We don't know if she's
Maybe
horny.
maybe she's just
Question
writing-
for Suze out there: are you a horny? That sounds creepy. Asking it. All right.
First question is, what's your favorite Halloween candy?
Oh, because it was Halloween themed. Happy Halloween! It was like a month ago.
There was a thing that was around in my childhood that I totally forgot about until I saw.
Candy.
You old bitch.
Before the wasps.
But I totally forgot about it until I saw a picture about it. Or a picture of it, rather. And it was a thing made by Hubba Bubba. And it came in this little, like, plastic pink container that looked kind of like a milk jug or something. And it was...
Oh, I
forget what it
remember
was
that
called.
shit.
Yeah, it was like a gum powder. And you would put it in your mouth and, like, chew it up and it would
yeah.
turn into a gum. But it was... You could, I guess.
You put it in your gun.
And shoot bowls.
But that shit was bumping, and it was tropical fruit flavor, and it was discontinued.
It's like halfway between
I
a laugh
thought
and a
so.
foghorn.
You thought it wasn't that good?
Oh well, I thought it was great.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've got a kind of a boring answer for this. Halloween, I was super excited to get chips because my family didn't really believe that much in chips. So
They didn't believe in chips?
like they didn't believe in
God.
they didn't believe in like buying them because they didn't want like you just like snacking when you're not hungry and that sort
Like
of stuff.
candy's okay?
Well, like candy is like something you get like a lot of, and then you occasionally get 1 or 2 bags of chips.
Oh.
So of all the things I got on Halloween, I was like, oh man, chips. Plus chips, like even the small bags. That's at least your kid brain before you realize how much air is in the bag. You're like, this is worth 20 candies. Like in
Right.
terms of the amount of food
was
this
big, it
is.
was
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Yeah. So chips for me.
Cool.
What was my least favorite things on Halloween?
Oh, you're answering now?
No, I'm just joking Paul's answer. I get it based on the sentimental value, but yeah.
I guess it all depends on like what you were. What,
Experience.
yeah, what you were lacking almost in every other area of like your childhood. If you had chocolate every day, you were not going to answer, I like chocolates on Halloween.
But this is in present tense.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's what is your favorite Halloween candy?
Oh, interesting. Maybe chips is a different thing. That can now I can just go to the corner store and buy chips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that case, is present day anything
Yeah.
homemade? Like if someone like you go into that cool house and they got you like that homemade like candy apple that was like a little bit shitty,
Raisins
but
in
like
it,
Yeah.
and
Watch
the
out.
nails in it, and used needles.
Cut up the
No.
apple first.
no, I did not. I'd bite into it. Consequences be damned. If I got ketamine in my mouth, so be it.
Yeah. You know they're putting fentanyl in children's backpacks?
They're not going to eat the backpack.
Just like in the
Yeah, but-
pocket.
yeah, in the pocket, and then they sell it.
they sell the
The
backpack.
kids sell it for euphoria drugs.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, and
Making money.
yeah, they
they're
sell.
learning business.
Yeah.
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
I like related to Leslie's. I like the gum tape. That's pretty good.
Ooh.
Gum tape is
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
Actually,
Yeah,
said
yeah.
Hubba Bubba, that's what reminded me of that.
There was an old like curiosity store in Aurelia where that had like old fashioned gum. You know the gum that like doesn't taste like very much at all.
Oh,
and it's like a
Thrills?
cigar.
Is it like Thrills?
No, it wasn't Thrills. It was like a cigar basically of gum, and you chew. And there was a banana one that I liked that. It lost its flavor really quickly, but I like the aerobic activity of gum chewing.
Gum stick.
And I was pretty good at blowing bubbles and things.
Yeah.
My jaw's really strong, and that's why I have an alpha face. Yeah.
You'd give some good gluck gluck.
You do have like a really good stare. I know you say like alpha face ironically,
Yeah.
but I think you genuinely have like a good like face for like photographs.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Photograph.
I don't want you.
Like I'm kind of jealous of the fact that in particular you two, Luke and Daryl, have really good faces for photographs. I have like the least photogenic face of all time. Whether I'm like handsome or not is up to the beholder, but in terms of like getting caught on like video or like in camera pictures, every time it's like, wow, I look tacitly worse than I do in real life.
Well, I say that
think it's
about
just-
myself though. I think my face looks like really like disjointed. Like Like it's like melted on one side.
To be fair, we all think that way about ourselves.
Okay.
My partner has told me explicitly, yes, you definitely look a lot worse in photos than you do in real life.
Oh.
So, I mean,
Unbiased opinion.
yeah.
Maybe she's just wrong.
Maybe it's just a
mean, like-
lens. Maybe you need a wider lens to make your face look fuller.
I feel like...
Like a fisheye camera.
Yeah, I feel like if I need a fisheye camera and you guys don't, that also says a lot about how photogenic I am.
Well, and we've never seen you without a beard. So maybe you look great with
Beard and long
with
hair.
no facial.
I've never seen.
Yeah, you never see me completely hairless like a mole rat.
Yeah, maybe you look great
Just
in
takes
pictures.
one step.
I feel like this is leaving photogenic and entering, well, if you shaved, you'd look attractive.
No, for real though.
No, hey, you look attractive, man. You look attractive
yeah,
no
you
matter
have,
what.
you have a good,
shut
you have
up.
a good like
This
facial
wasn't
structure.
meant to be
Oh,
a
they
fishing
wanna
for
fuck
compliments
you.
thing.
Told me that I have a good stare.
You do.
Thank you.
But this was meant to be about you.
My brother said, Luke, you have a good serious face. Because some high school kids tried to bully me. Did I tell that story to you guys?
Yeah.
How recently?
Okay.
What, they tried to
here-
bully you?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
they failed?
Yes.
Nice.
I fucking
Yeah.
shut them down.
Oh, all right,
As
all
you
right.
should. As you should.
Do you want me to tell this story?
Yes.
Okay, so there's a satellite library location near my house that's also like connected to a high school, and I was in the stall in the washroom in the library, and some students came in and they were like, "Oh, who's in the stall? Who's in the stall?" I think it was like another student, and they're like, "Oh, good, poo poo pee pee, ha ha ha," and then they
How old are these kids?
This is like 15, 16, and
Okay.
they were putting
Too old to be saying poo poo pee pee.
they were like, they were just joking, and they put like a tampon under this. They're like, "Hey, you need one of these? You need one of these?" And I'm like, they don't know I'm an adult, and so I took it and I opened this doll. I'm like, "This yours?" And they're like, "Oh."
That's really cool.
I felt so cool. They were all like 6 feet tall, dude. They're like a lot of high school kids are taller than me. I'm a small bean.
But everybody look at me.
Yeah, they're
Just
saying
imagining these two teenagers who are like, I don't mean to, like, what if they had a problem? And this was all they could communicate. And you made them feel bad by looking at them like they're like adult teachers look at them with like condescension, and they're like, "Oh, another fucking adult that doesn't treat me right."
Oh, so you're saying like if you played it backwards, they'd be like, "Help us," like in Spot Kids?
Yeah, they're trying to say, "Floop is a madman, help us save us. Floop is a madman, help us save us." But all that came out is poo poo pee pee ha ha ha. Do you think that like Spy Kids was like a metaphor for something like that? Like how the education system failed like kids with extra needs?
My brother.
I don't think so.
In a really long time.
Citation needed, my friend.
You want to write your dissertation on that,
this
Paul?
point. What the fuck
We need a
does
little
that
bit
mean?
more evidence.
I'm
That's
not an
all.
English major. I can't pursue that.
What the hell? does
We're not
that
saying
mean?
no. We're just saying we're reserving judgment until there's at least one iota of evidence.
That came out of the astral plane. You reached into the astral plane of ideas. You pulled out Spy Kids as a metaphor for special needs kids getting abused.
And then they made like 2 more movies about it after that.
You could see where it was coming from with the poo poo pee pee kids. Don't give me that shit where it was out of nowhere. Have we answered what was the question?
Candy.
Halloween
Your
candy.
favorite Halloween candy.
What's yours, Drew? You never
I
said.
lost track. I was gonna answer Terry's chocolate orange, but that's like
Who the
Christmas.
fuck
No, that's
gives
not.
out whole ass Terry's chocolate oranges in your Halloween candy?
Nobody.
Christmas
does
time.
that. That's Christmas time.
My dad loves cherry chocolate.
They're so good.
Oh.
They're so good.
I'm gonna develop abs from laughing.
Yeah, I
The
love
mint
that.
ones are banging.
Yeah, they're pretty good. I'm pretty basic. I like the classic one.
He's a basic bitch.
Holy
Honestly, like just the classic basic bitch, like Reese's peanut butter cups. Like
Yeah.
Bitch.
as far as
Basic is good
Halloween,
sometimes.
Halloween
Bitch is
candy
good
goes,
sometimes.
So Reese's, is that right?
Reese's peanut
I
butter
think we have to
cups
say
or-
that again because there was something else going on at the other half of the room here.
Reese's peanut butter cups, or like
Focus sharing people.
Or like rockets, like the little packages of the
Oh, nice. Yeah.
sugar
Eat
biscuits.
some honey, it was funny.
Okay, are you alright, man?
No, I have not recovered since all of you reacting to my perfectly legitimate, this is clearly what we're getting to point, acting as if it was out of nowhere, like I said it in the middle of a funeral.
His dissertation.
Your answer?
No, so my favorite Halloween candy currently would be a cross between either like Aero, you know, the chocolate that's like got bubbles.
It's good. It's good.
It's good.
You ever had dark chocolate Aero?
Oh, that's my jam.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Mint chocolate Aero all the way.
You're big into the mint, eh?
I like mint chocolate a lot.
See, what I think how Arrow is groundbreaking is that it's both taste pleasure and tactile pleasure.
Yeah,
It
and if you
feels
put it,
nice.
if you put it in the bath, it floats.
It does? What?
Drew just like petrified and flew into space. His face hasn't recovered.
What did you say, Leslie? What did you
I
say?
said it feels nice.
That's all you said, and Drew's laughing at that like that?
No, because Luke was like...
What?
This is the most I've ever seen Drew laugh in like a year, for the record.
Luke was all
He's
sophisticated, like, oh wait, it combines taste pleasure and tactile pleasure, and Liz is like, it feels nice!
It's like a hot tub in your mouth.
It was
Yeah.
just perfect combination.
Pop rock similarly.
Everybody can enjoy it.
Avondale stopped selling the chocolate dark Aero bars, and I can't find another place that sells them, and I'm sad.
It's so good.
Can you find places near you that sell them?
Yeah, you want some?
Genuinely, next time I'll pay you
Dealer.
some money, and like, yeah, I'd like 1 or 2 bars.
I'll look.
Thank
I'll
you.
look.
Don't
I
you
appreciate
like
that.
the lint, pepper,
Lint
Pepper.
lint?
That
hot
sounds
pepper,
really
black
good.
Pepper.
Just black
The new black pepper chocolate.
Lint red pepper.
You can never count
Oh, sweet
your
chili
money
heat?
when it's just lint pepper.
You mean sweet chili heat?
Yeah, the sweet chili heat red pepper chocolate.
Yeah,
Why are
yeah.
you putting so many R's on the end of pepper every time? Sweet chili heat, lint pepper.
He's making a new jingle.
I can picture the chocolate bar, and then I realize that it's not that interesting.
And
I'm
what's
trying to-
what's in it again?
Wait, no,
This is becoming a
Wait.
commercial.
Wait. So this is actually a 2-part question.
Lint pepper.
How many questions did Suzette ask?
Okay, this needs to be lightning round because this is ridiculous.
Okay, well, this is easy. What body part would you consider eating?
Penis.
Ass.
Not the
But like
Actually,
cheek.
the cheek
that's
is
what
the
I'm
meatiest part.
saying. Thank you.
Well, it's actually the
Stroud said
fattiest
you
part.
should
do that.
It's the fattiest
Oh,
part, not the
well, there you
meatiest
go.
part. The fattiest.
It is.
It's
Most
the
of your
easiest to
fat.
cut.
In a
though.
survival situation,
Yeah,
that's what's going to get you the furthest, though.
I'm gonna be boring. I'm just gonna say like a hunk of muscle mass out of like the thigh or something like that. Because like I'm trying to think of like all the diseases you can get from eating human, and like brain, you definitely get prions.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
don't do
brain.
that.
But,
you
like-
avoid the brain and the spine. For
Yeah,
sure.
but like if you could just get something muscle mass and not like an organ, then probably that's the best.
I watched
Safest.
I watched a documentary about interviewing like a cannibal tribe when I was a kid, and I remember this woman.
Yes, we were thinking of divulging into like they're all wearing suits
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
But they were
interviewing them
they were saying that
for a
the
job.
Behind a glass, like, partition.
They're just like banging on it, going like, "Well, it's actually very interesting."
you doing anything later? No, they said that the best parts to eat of humans for men is the shoulder blade, and for women is the boob.
Ooh.
Because the boob's sweet.
I'd like a good. Ooh.
I could eat a tit. I could eat boob.
I'd eat a tit.
I've come close.
I mean, I guess most of us have come close to eating a tit if it's the way I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I had a chicken tit today.
Not what I was thinking of, but all
It's
right.
not a tit.
Yeah, they don't,
don't do
actually
it.
have mammary glands there. The breast is in the frontal chest.
Also, they
As
they
opposed
don't
to the back
feed.
chest.
Also, they don't. It's a they,
Goes to the back.
also
The dorsal side.
also it's an egg. They don't produce milk.
Yeah, like they
There's no chicken milk.
You can't.
There ain't
you
no
can't
chicken
make a-
milk.
You can't make a chicken lactate.
can't make milk
It's
out of
not
chickens.
hot. Let's sail past that, shall we?
All right.
All right, next question.
What is the most scared you have ever been?
From?
Asks Zach.
Okay.
From what?
The most.
Open-ended.
From Mamilton. No, never mind.
I've mentioned this before on the podcast. It was the time that, thanks to my my now dead friend, I had a gun pointed at my head once, and I remember I got so scared that I left scared and went into a wow, this is really the end. And there was this like weird becalming wash of just sort of like, this is it, farewell. And I'll never forget that first feeling of being that level of scared that it transitions into that. Because I imagine most people, by probably like our age right now, haven't felt that scared before. Because they've never felt cause to.
I've never had to accept death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really weird how my body went immediately to that. I feel like I should have gone through like denial or like bargaining first.
Get to address it really quick.
Yeah. No, that's grief actually. That's not fear. Never mind.
You want a dark answer or a funny one?
Dark.
Dark.
Give us
The
trauma.
actual answer.
The actual
to it.
answer? Well, my mother told me she was gonna die.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
entirely fair. Yeah.
Yeah. I had an exam the next day.
Oh,
I didn't go.
Oh, you didn't
Yeah.
go?
I only went to one exam. That,
Wimp.
I was throwing up.
Yeah, reasonably. So was this high school then?
This was high school. I was
Okay.
16.
Drew, you better have a funny answer.
I don't, my mind's blanking.
Make me laugh, please.
I've never
I'm
been-
gonna cry.
Poor Zach, he's like, this is going to be funny. So far we've had gun to the head and dead mom.
God, I don't know. I mean, I've been scared before, but
Yeah, thanks.
shut up.
I believe I have felt fear.
I have felt fear before in my life.
What one would call the human experience of fear.
Isn't that like the film nerd watching a horror movie video? That's a good. I'll have to show it. It's me.
Do you think the most Drew has felt fear? He's like he knows instinctively, like the time he accidentally read "lolly" out loud when he said it,
Yeah.
and he does not want to admit it out loud. Like that's the moment they knew.
I read "lolly" out loud. I didn't think it was like gonna be that incriminating to.
Do you know what
read
the word "lolly" means?
I know what the word "lolly" means. But
Evidently,
reading the word "lolly" doesn't mean that I am
when it
into
said
lolly.
"lil," paging Dr.
Okay,
Freud.
let me get the fucking word back out here again.
Yeah.
And say that looks like lolly.
It does not.
We
It
all-
does!
Who here agrees with Drew's particularly
his hand
stupid
up.
take? No, it doesn't.
No.
Even he says no.
The hair makes it look like an eye.
Does the first thing look like
Yeah, the
an
first thing
O?
doesn't. It's fucking dotted.
If anything, I would agree that if you said
It's an eye.
if you said it looked like Lily, I'd be 100%
Yeah,
on your side.
It does look
but
like Lily.
Thank you for saying
That's what I saw.
what I
In the
wanted
context-
to articulate.
Yeah.
The first thing is dotted. She's
No.
right. It doesn't
In
look
the
like an O.
context, in the context.
In the context of what?
What do you mean it's
Kids?
dotted? It's
What do
literally
I mean? It's dotted. It's got a dot on it.
It's a stick with a dot, you fuck.
connected. It's
not.
connected.
Bro, you see?
Oh, dude.
It's connected.
Yeah, but that's obviously an attempt of a dot where
It's an attempt, but it's connected, so you can see where the mistake.
Where's the hole? It's an O.
Where is
If
the
it's
hole?
an O, where's the hole?
Well, technically, they have 3 of them. My
not
name's
talk about
Drew.
Well, to answer your question, I think he hasn't really come to terms with him saying that.
I think I've said this before on the podcast, but I'll say it again. If you turn out to be a real pedophile in the future, Drew, I'll feel partially responsible, like we accidentally pushed you to it.
Yeah.
Like I started googling terms and was like,
That's hilarious.
What's the image search of that?
All right, so what's your biggest fear? Lightning round, just like first thing that comes to your head. Like it doesn't have to be the perfect answer, but like
No, when
what
were
you
you
think
the
is
most
the biggest?
scared?
Yeah,
That's
the most
not
scared
the-
right now.
The most scared. The thing that popped into my mind right away was like in Scouts we went spelunking one time, and I remember it was spring, I want to say, so the inside of the caves was still very icy.
Okay.
And there was this one section of the cave where there was what would have been running water. So, but it was like frozen over. So to go deeper into the cave, you had to sort of climb over this like little waterfall section. But you'd have to like basically slide down this like little slide. And I chickened out and didn't go down.
I think that's
And
reasonable.
so it was, I don't know. It's kind of a cop-out answer because I didn't end up doing it, so I didn't embrace the fear. so it was more of a paralysis fear.
I mean, that's
but I didn't end
valid.
up doing it.
You ever seen the movie The Descent?
That sounds familiar, but I don't think I ever saw it.
It's a horror movie based on spelunking, and it's pretty good. Sequels are bad, but the first one's pretty good.
Is that the one with the like albino people?
They're just called white people, but yes, there's a
Jeez,
bunch of
Drew.
white people that go into a cave.
Also, albino doesn't mean never seen the sun. It's a genetic thing.
Well,
Oh,
catch-all term.
I think you're thinking of Deliverance.
Catch-all term. Yeah, much like lolly, am I right, Drew?
Shut the fuck up. The cave. Never mind.
Let's go to the next question. Wait, you have an answer.
So my the scariest memory that I have, is that right?
Yeah.
Nope.
The most scared you've ever been.
Yeah.
Most scared I've ever been. So I had been driving, like I just learned how to drive, and so I had my G2, which is for people who don't live in Ontario. It's like the next level up in your driver's license.
It's called a provisional license in the U.S., I think.
Right.
Yeah, you have
so,
G1, G2, then you're full
like
G,
that.
and that's it.
G.
Yeah.
A G2, which for people who don't live in Ontario, it's a step up from G1.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I was just gonna roll right through there. But yeah, so I was just a new driver, and it had just rained. So like the ground was like freshly wet.
My mind is in stupid mode. I heard it just rained as REIGNED, and I was like, who was it, Daryl?
a king is dead.
So I was going to the off ramp of the highway. So I was supposed to be slowing down, but I didn't slow down at the right time. And so
And there was this ramp there.
so there's like a ramp that turns off.
Oh.
But
I was picturing a ramp that goes into, like, the sky.
however, because I was slipping so much when I hit the brakes,
They caught me slipping.
my car actually slipped over past the ramp, over the there's like a little grassy part, and then there's an on-ramp. So I not only couldn't stop at the appropriate time, I did like a full 180 on this grassy patch, and then back another 180 to the on-ramp, and I stopped exactly at like the on-ramp portion.
So you just like,
So, like driving backwards.
I did it's hard to describe, but
Evidently.
yeah,
Critical.
I'm engaged. That's interesting.
I didn't roll, but I was like,
Yeah, you rocked.
I was like fully stopped, and I just couldn't. And because I was on the on ramp, I really had to go, right? Like I didn't want anybody to like speed up and hit me in the back. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no time to even like process what had happened. Like I'm driving now, I'm back on the highway.
I think a lot of people, a lot more people have that kind of experience than they'd like to admit.
Yeah. Was the grass okay?
Oh, shut up, you meanie. You meanie. Anything for a laugh. Fuck your feelings, Daryl.
That was a
Isn't
serious
it?
moment.
But isn't it comedian's job to push boundaries?
Right. Thanks, man.
Make him feel bad.
Isn't it a comedian's job to make you feel bad?
Yes, thank you. That's my scariest moment.
one time I was going on a plane somewhere. I was too young to remember where this was going, but I was going on a plane and we were starting.
Were you born after 2001?
Yeah,
Okay.
no, 2000.
Go on. Where was the plane going?
Where were you?
All right, you're on a plane. Don't know where.
Yeah, we were going to take off, and as we started to take off, so the plane like started going woo, and it works up and everything, and then the second we started moving and it whirred up, it just all the lights shut off and the plane like totally powered down, just and like off.
And like everything stopped right at once. It didn't like reach a rolling stop. Just
Yeah.
it was like floating through space.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. But then I was horrified the rest of the plane ride, and they were like, "Oh, sorry, folks, we just forgot to do one more thing." And it's like, what if we were in the air? Like,
We forgot to do. It sounds like some sort of really lame engagement thing. Like, oh, sorry, folks, we forgot to do one more thing. The pilot comes out, gets on one knee in front of the stewardess. They shut the plane off mid takeoff. Would you like me
We've known each other for 30 years.
They'd get sued,
Yeah.
but it'd be funny.
It's also funny to think of like the plane powering off, and you're like, and my buddy Mohammed Atta was like, shit, foiled again next year.
That's profiling. How dare you?
What?
What?
That's the guy.
Yeah. But the fact that you decided to bring fucking like 9/11 into it, pretty offensive.
He was practicing.
He was a doctor?
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, next question. What improvisational comic do you most admire? From Vince.
Vince Vaughn?
No.
Wow.
Which improvisational?
You sound just like...
Well, no.
I'm doing Luke's impression of Vince Vaughn. Wow. Yeah, come on, that's what you do. No, whatever.
That's your thing.
Which improvisational comic or improviser do you most admire? This is a tough one.
It is hard.
It's not.
There's
Keep
a
in
lot
mind.
to pull from.
This doesn't say celebrity.
No.
All right. Can we get real cheesy on this podcast?
Yes.
Bring the cheese.
Jesus Christ.
You, Luke. I most
That's
admire
way
you.
cheesier than I was expecting.
Yeah. Reason being, you received. Shut up. You. First of all, you did a 2-person troupe with me for like 2 full years.
You
and-
also did that.
Yes, I'm getting somewhere. And you, were roped into it by me. I conceived of the idea and brought you into it, but you immediately went, hell yeah, let's do it. When, we've talked to, other people like Kyle from Toronto and stuff like that who are like, yeah, you may not get how being a 2-person troupe is hard. That whole 20-minute set was really hard for us. I love that conversation because it was with a friend and improviser from Toronto, and he basically framed a conversation like that because he had a 2-person troupe where they did a 20-minute set, and he talked, no offense, kind of condescendingly about how difficult it is, and I could not at all talk about Paul and Luke after that without making it seem like I'm one-upping him.
Like hour and a half long set or however long. it ended up
We
being,
did 2-hour-long
2
shows.
2-hour shows, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, like with the intermission.
Anyway, you can fuck me if you try.
You and I. You can fuck me. My behind.
Anyway, yeah, so the fact that you rose to such a challenge and also got a litany of health problems and it didn't slow you down in the slightest, and you still managed to keep up optimism during shows, even if afterwards you were like, oh, fuck this, I want to die, is really, really impressive, and I really admire that, and that's what the question is.
Thank you. I'm not good at taking compliments.
That is it's evident. That
Or
is fair.
giving them.
There you go. That's the improvisational comic that I most admire. Second place would probably be Spencer Dunn, a really talented guy, alumnus of my same high school, who went on to be the creative director for the Canadian Improv Games, the CIG. I give a lot of guff for CIG, but a lot of the changes he's made has been beneficial, and the guy is really funny without trying, but that doesn't stop him from being thoughtful, and that's really cool. Next, whoever has an answer.
I don't have
I don't
an
know a lot
answer.
other than you guys.
Yeah, other than you guys.
I don't know a lot of improvisers.
I don't
saying
like
that-
anybody else.
Yeah, other than you guys and just people at school improv, it's I don't consume
Yeah.
improvisational comedy that much.
I feel
so-
like Vince was planning for us all to fight to say Wayne Brady or something
something.
like
Yeah,
that.
right.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm kind of going through the list of
Colin Mockery. No, he's mine.
going through the list of
He's funny. I don't admire him as an improviser. He's he's good. He's actually a really good comic. He's a decent improviser. I don't know if I'm going to catch flack for that, but if you watch him, he's really funny. I'm not sure if he's really good at upholding others on stage.
I mean, well, part of that comes from the improv that we're used to doing versus made for TV improv.
Yeah, which is an extension of what we call bar prov in our colloquial
Yeah.
terms,
Yeah,
which is
but-
basically stand-up comedy with a little bit of improv shaken in.
But that's also a very I
Quirky.
hate to use the word elitist, but a very snooty way of looking at improv in a artsy fartsy way of looking at improv.
I think it's valid if you want a certain type of other thing in improv. I don't even think that's necessarily elitist.
It's not. Maybe it's not elitist, but it's basically
To say one is
different.
inferior.
Yeah,
is
to say
be-
one is inferior is elitist, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
basically it's hard to say. I think the implication, maybe not the implication on the question, but the way I'm framing it is like, do you have improviser you like look up to or like aspire to?
And
or
you
something
have
like that?
firmly answered, fuck no.
Well, no, not really. Yeah, no, because like I take inspiration from improvisers, I suppose, in that like there are certain skills I wish to okay. There's certain skills I wish to like nurture a little bit more. Like I think like for example, Colin Mockery is very witty. I think Wayne Brady is very quick, especially with the music.
The music is amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
and now he's making.
okay, I know Paul's got something to say about it, but
the thing about Wayne Brady, you should talk the music all day because I will admit, Wayne Brady, Chip, and I can't remember the third guy who does it a lot. Jeff.
Yeah.
I actually like Jeff. I like Jeff the most out of the three.
I would actually
Even
agree.
though he's
Jeff
the-
is really talented.
Even though he's the one that I forgot the name of, I actually like him the most out of the three.
Yeah, guy.
is
but,
this what you wanted? Now we're fighting over whose line character.
Yeah. But
They're not real.
I would also bring up like Mock the Weak People and stuff.
Yeah, they're really good too.
I like Mock the Weak People.
Can you say that more clearly?
I like the performers on Mock the Weak.
That probably, yeah. Okay.
Although it doesn't exist anymore.
WEEK, by the way.
Yeah.
Just in case anybody doesn't know what Mock the Week is.
That's good.
Or
What we like to punch down, weaklings.
Yeah. Mock the Week was, because it doesn't exist anymore.
Mock the Week is what Drew does every time he goes to the gym, baby.
Yeah.
I never go to Planet Fitness.
Fitness dick in your ass. Go on.
But, they do have a certain...
Fitting it in.
They do have a certain...
Turn around.
what's the word I'm looking for?
Loop.
Not cookie cutter, but like a systematic way of approaching their songs.
Yeah.
That I'm not a huge fan of in terms
Yeah.
of like I would never want to approach improv.
I'm also 90% sure they like rehearse what the song is, and they know the beats, and they just have to swap in the words.
Yeah.
which like,
is still a skill.
Which is still a skill, but I will say, for a fact, there is a guy named Frederick from, originally from, I want to say, University of McGill, then went to, did his master's at University of Toronto, and that's where I got to see him perform. He did a game called Bartender, where he played melodies on the piano and sang to them in response to other people's, like, problems. That's how the game is played, I guess. And afterwards, I approached him and said, like, that was really cool. How long did you rehearse that song? And he was like, oh, that song was just, like, made of melodies I made on the fly. I've been playing piano since I was, like, 4 or 5. And, like, the fact that he could do that of melodies that he just invented and sing at the same time with, like, other people's suggestions in a non-televised way
Those
where there's
skills
only
exist.
one
Yeah.
take, and he didn't make it look like he screwed up once. Phenomenal. Sorry, Wayne Brady wishes he could be
Well, I
Frederick.
haven't seen
Paul,
shit like
the
that.
artist
but-
behind Who Wants to Make a Deal.
But yeah, like those skills exist. Those aren't skills that I specifically want to nurture because like I don't really need to have the musical talent. I'm not worried about that. But there are skills that like I want to nurture from that I see in like Whose Line and stuff. But those aren't necessarily things I take inspiration from. But it's hard to answer the question because there hasn't really been a specific improviser that like I look at and be like, that's the way I want to do it.
I
Which
like
I
it.
think is good. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
Do you guys have answers?
Yeah, like mostly the people that I would mention are people like that do improv in Toronto, and so it's very like I don't know if any of you guys will know these names. I don't know if anybody listening is going to know these names, but guys like Ken Hall, who also did a few episodes of Umbrella
Kids in
Academy.
the Hall. Oh, okay.
I was thinking that too.
He did a few episodes of Umbrella Academy.
Oh, yeah, I'm supposed to meet him sometime soon, actually.
Cool.
Oh,
That reminded
there's
me of
another
that.
answer. Kids in the Hall. Kids in the Hall do a lot of improv.
They do,
Oh,
yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
So him or Adam Colley, or there's another Rob Norman, I think is.
Yeah.
Rob Norman's
on
really-
the Backline podcast.
That's
yeah.
I couldn't remember his name. I was gonna say that.
And so I really like those guys
And
because
Paul.
I don't go to Toronto.
You're not. No.
You're not Toronto. Okay, you're not Toronto.
I never said I was. I heard that apparently both of those guys are kind of assholes in real life, though, which is unfortunate. Both the guys on the Backline podcast, as performers, especially if you're a woman, they're apparently really hard to work with, which is unfortunate.
And hey, I don't know them as people. I only know them as performers.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair.
And what I will say about that is I've seen them a handful of times, and they are very good at building a narrative, not taking over, and just like adding something to the scene, whether it's small or big, and making an impact with that little bit that they add. I think that's what I strive to be, and so when I see that, it's like, wow, they do it so much better than I do. And it's like fuel for my fire.
I get you. Leslie?
Fuel for my fire.
No, like I was saying earlier, I don't consume a lot of improv comedy or anything, so other than like admiring certain aspects of the people that I know personally who do improv and that I do improv with, like, there's no one person that's like...
Sorry, while
okay.
Leslie's giving this answer, Drew is like inquisitively taking a sippy from his sippy cup.
Sip time.
I love the fact that you've got like a cup with a permanent straw coming out of it, and you like
They're the
slowly
best.
lower one eyebrow as you listen and just sip from your straw. It's a good visual.
That bitch everywhere.
Go on.
That was it. I just, there's not one
Nobody.
particular person that I'm like, I want to be like you, but...
I
want to be like you! Yeah.
All right. Next question. Let's hurry up. What?
You want to get the fuck out of here?
We don't have enough
Just
of
to,
police. Yes.
to name drop one more thing in terms of improvisers, I also like Hello from the Magic Tavern.
Hello.
Just in terms of liking their improv quality. Anyway, just to get away from the whose line is it anyway, only name dropping them.
Yeah, it was very convenient. You left the room while we name dropped a lot of other things, and you went back and went, "Oh, it sucks that it was only whose line. I'm
Yeah.
the main character of this universe. Let me take another inquisitive sippy."
I'm the only real person in the world.
What's the next question, Luke?
This comes from Julia.
Hello.
This is mean.
Why are you looking
Why?
at me?
Why?
You'll see.
This is your woman. Control.
Like it's your fault. She's like this.
Oh, you're the only one here that can make that joke.
Why/how do you deal with Paul?
Go on.
I like the addition of why.
Also, no
Why do you
question
deal
mark.
with Paul?
Fuck this
It's
person.
a statement.
Fuck this person.
She even put a heart there.
What'd you
Julia
do
is
to her that day?
Julia is Drew's partner, for the record. Nothing. Julia and I have a fine relationship. She probably just doesn't like, jokingly, how I associate with Drew. Or real. I mean, I thought your mom was fine with me,
Stop
and then I
trying
found
to
out.
fuck my boyfriend.
Maybe that's it.
That's what
Even
I'm
though
saying.
I didn't know her name, I thought I knew her name, and it turns out I
didn't,
didn't.
yeah.
I feel bad about that. Has she mentioned me since? She went like that bitch.
Yeah,
She mentioned me?
She was
So,
like, I didn't
does
even
she
get to my
talk about
car,
me?
and he already added me on Facebook or something.
Yeah!
I didn't have the
accept
heart
that.
to tell her that's because you didn't know her name.
Yeah, I'm really glad that she didn't hear me mumble what I thought was her name. Because you said jokingly on another podcast that her first name was Diana, and I thought you were being legitimate.
Oh, really? You thought that?
I 100%
Only one
thought
who
that.
thought that.
Yeah, I was slow that
Did you
day.
think her last name was Heck?
No, I did not think her last name was Heck. All right, so how/why do you put up with me?
Because
Lightly
he's a
round.
good person.
Well,
And he's not hard to deal with.
He's a
Because-
good person, a great improviser, and
what
he
the
brings.
fuck, you guys?
Shut up! And he brings way
This is
too
not
much
about
to
you.
our team. Thank you. Good night.
Because he yells at me sometimes. And
That's not true.
And I take sexual gratification from that.
I feel
I
like
agree.
everyone is getting to answer except Drew.
It's a question for the group.
Oh, I thought it was a question just for you.
My name's not on the card. Yours is.
That was your own conclusion that you made based on the context of the question.
The context was
What
that
are you
Julia
projecting?
is. The context is that Julia is Drew's partner, so I just assumed, and I made an ass out of you and me. Anyway, I don't. I hate myself. All right, Drew, answer.
We all hate
But why?
ourselves a little.
Why? I've given myself
shit,
so many.
why?
I've given you so many reasons.
Why do I deal with Paul? Well,
Shorty. Oh, I don't go.
Do you even care to know what he has to say?
What?
He's
Oh, hey,
talking
it's
about
super.
why he likes you.
He
and you're-
doesn't.
well, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah. See.
Why do I deal with Paul? Well,
You're just stalling, dude. There's a lot of variables and factors in this question.
well, I don't have time to write a thesis or.
And if you
I don't get to stall because fucking people keep fucking with me. What do you?
touche. Why do you what?
Yeah, Drew. TikTok.
Talk on the clock till the party
Holy
don't
shit,
stop.
that's definitely stalling.
That is definitely stalling. I don't know. I like you, man. I think you're a cool dude.
Thanks, dude.
I think you bring a lot of joy to my life in unexpected ways. Not that it's hard to say because I don't think like
It's not conventional joy for sure.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's not like I think my friends are like predictable or anything like that. And it seems cheesy to say that you're like the most unpredictable of my friends or anything like
It
that.
would be true.
But it is kind of
You're
true.
not like other friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not, like other
You're a
girls.
real gamer girl.
A lot of people like to like pretend they're quirky and like unpredictable and shit, and I feel like I don't know if I get to say this, but I feel like I actually am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also like
Some people just pour soup on the TV and go, "Oh, I'm your crazy friend."
but
I'm so random.
it's also like
I'll yell pickles during an improv scene and then cry because no one laughed. That happened with someone I saw once.
What?
Yeah.
yikes.
What? Doesn't
That
need
was
to
the
be
reason,
mentioned.
though? Daryl was the reason they cried?
Daryl, it was you.
Shut up! It wasn't the reason.
But it's not just about that.
It's like an I think you should leave sketch.
It wasn't the reason. Pickles. Sorry, are you?
And anyway, I'm sorry, are you crying?
No, it wasn't the reason.
It's like the court scene where, like, in the flashback, he yells at that one woman and goes, like, realizes he went too far and went, "Oh, who said that?"
That was the safari flaps one with the hat. It's illegal for you to ask me that.
All right, go.
I just wanted to say that it goes deeper than just being haha so quirky, as lame as it is. That stop trying to distract me. You're gonna make
You're gonna make him breathe. It's already seeping through the
It's
hole.
not gonna come out of my knee. This is already gonna be the longest podcast, and you're still distracting me.
Go on.
The point I'm trying to make is that it's not just about being lol quirky. Even if you weren't lol quirky, you still have an earnestness about you, and it's important to be earnest, and that I appreciate that about you. That like like you were saying that like about me, like if like I needed to talk, or like if I didn't want to talk to you, that I would like say that, and then if I wanted to talk to you, I would talk to you. That
Yeah, yeah.
That I have this understanding with you that like if I needed to talk to you, that I could.
Yep.
I appreciate
That's sort of like the lines of communication are communication.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe I don't like take them that often or anything like that.
No worries.
So like
Alright, let's
the
wrap it up.
why I
Let's wrap it up here.
deal the why I deal with you is like to keep that valuable line of communication open. It's like why I pay my cell phone bill.
Thanks, dude. That really ended on a very high note of.
I
like,
deal with
why
you
I
to
appreciate
keep my
your friendship.
options open.
I
It's
consider
like
you a
paying
subscription.
bills. I appreciate you too, brother. One question: when you said "lol quirky," were you imagining
No.
an invisible eye on the end? You thought it too. I
knew
saw
you were gonna go there.
All right. What's the next question? Thank you, Drew.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
How
Fuck Julia.
do you decide which theater spot?
We don't have a lot of options. If it's the question, I think.
We don't decide.
Yeah, God decides for us.
Drew,
Why
just
can I
to-
not read today?
Drew,
just for
Get
reference,
your fucking hands out of my face!
You darn dirty ape!
just so you know, it doesn't say
A line
lol.
from Charlton Heston, Planet of the Apes. It's fine.
Yeah, let's rule out all of your kinks. They are not in the card, okay?
They're not in the car.
How do you decide which paddles? Sorry, how do you decide which theater sports? How do you decide which theater sports games you all present at a show?
Theater sports
Who's-
games?
theater
Is that what we
sports?
specialize in?
We don't play sports.
It's like the fucking what did you say? The Canada improv game.
CGI.
I'm not seeing sports in this either.
CGI.
Canadian generated.
It's context.
I don't know what the word
It's
is.
not
I
all
will
that
give you that.
prefabricated improv. We generate our own.
That looks like an
Homegrown.
A, so it looks like theater spats.
Yeah, but context, it has to be sports.
It doesn't have.
How
to
do
be
you decide
sports.
which theater spats games?
She's not asking what clothing we're wearing.
I don't know.
Is it a she?
Wait. Theater spats
Yes,
has.
it's from Tracy.
Hey,
Oh, Tracy.
hey, theater spats has a capital T. It might be a real thing.
Right, let's interpret it this way so that we can actually like get something done. Let's replace the word theater spats with improv.
Yes.
How do you decide which improv games to present at a show?
Ta-da.
We answered this like 2 podcasts ago.
Where have you been?
Well, she only came to the show.
Touche. Well, in that case,
And she
Tracy,
only knows theater spats, so I don't even know how to answer this.
we'll get into a couple theater spats with you.
yeah, Tracy.
All right, last question of the night. I believe Daryl.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This one's long. There's two.
Yeah, to answer it really abridgedly, we come up with a list from a document that we have, and then we decide from there which ones we're most comfortable with in the moment. Done.
So, these are from 2 people. But it's only on 1 card, so I get them both.
Josh and Ivy?
Nope. First one. How did we go from 3 holes in a sock to eating others people's toenails? Please explain. From James.
Did this happen in the
that
show?
from
Game
Scene?
reference.
That's a game
That-
reference?
yeah.
Oh, that was that scene where you took the socks?
That was Emily's 3-hold sock that you made me hold for like 2 minutes in a scene.
Oh,
I held
master
him
servant
too.
Master
disaster.
servant disaster.
That was a fun show. I think to try to answer this as honestly as possible, improv takes you to some interesting areas, and you can't doubt the first instinct you have unless it's something that's really inappropriate or going to make people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So you really have to just like trust that like your natural instinct or your subconscious guides you truly. I don't know how to put it any like less poetically than that, but it kind of is true where like in improv you'll want to just sort of like go, I want to do this now. And we're just going to go in this direction. And the idea of, I want to get into this someday. I don't think that no but exists. You know how some people say, oh, no but in improv? I disagree entirely with the concept of no but. Because, to me, no on its own in any way, shape, or form is just a block.
Yeah.
And saying no but and taking stuff from someone else's idea is just, hey, here's a block. Here's what I want to do instead, which is the textbook example of a block.
Well,
Right.
yeah, it's basically no.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
exactly.
It's
And
basically-
nobody wants that.
Yeah, fuck that.
It's basically the semantics of no but being to the statement or to the idea.
Yeah, I find that if you say no to a character but yes to an actor, you're a
it's a
really
yes
good
and.
improviser.
Yeah,
exactly, and it's a yes and.
Yeah, so it's
if you think of like a bad,
semantics.
if you think of a bad no but, it's just a block. If you think of a good no but in quotes, it's just a yes and. No but doesn't exist.
And we're all people here. We all have butts. So let's stop denying the fact that we have butts, damn it.
In case anyone's confused, yes and is a fundamental in improv where you agree to an idea that someone has and also try to build on it. No but is an idea that some stupid idiots have that exists as a contradictory idea in improv where you can say no to the initial offer but build instead on something that it could have been, which is just a fucking block. I saw what you did there, Drew. Really good nerd impersonation. Have you been
Trying
practicing?
to be all smart because of your science sweater.
And
some-
also-
Sorry. I
yeah,
just wanted to say.
Put it back in airplane mode. We're gonna get interference. Yeah, it's gonna be like that. Put it back in airplane mode, please. Even as you read.
Let's do the sports.
Okay. So theater sports is actually
Y'all
a
don't know
form.
what theater sports is?
I do not know what theater sports is.
Oh,
It's
well, Drew and I
then
know.
why didn't you explain when we were all like, "What the fuck
I
is
thought
this
you
word?"
were being sarcastic.
What do
We
you
are
mean? You were the
sarcastic a
person
lot.
reading the question.
You're sarcastic a lot.
All right, read your thing.
Theater sports is a
What do you think
form
about
of
this, Luke?
improvisational
He's just
theater,
crying.
Wow.
which uses the format of competition for dramatic effects.
So you know,
It's all the
Tracy.
summits.
You know that Tracy was like, I get to introduce the term that I know.
Yeah, that's true.
Did we answer the last question?
I wanted to add
No.
something,
yeah.
which was the point about, and I think we've mentioned this before, but when you're like building a scene in
Sorry,
improv,
Tracy. That was rude of me.
when you're building a scene in improv, one of the most interesting things to do is, well, for me anyway, it might not be for everybody else, is like elements of world building. So one of the, it's kind of a game, but it's an aspect in every scene is like, if this is true, then what else is true? So like,
Yeah, I love that philosophy. By the way, if this is true, what else is true?
Yeah,
That's
so,
so
like,
good. That's so helpful in
if
improv.
if like dogs can fly, then what else is true about this world? Like, do you need leashes, or what do leashes look like in this world? If leashes look like this, then what does that mean about other things in this world,
Like,
etc., etc.
do birds still exist, or like do have dogs superseded birds? Yeah.
Exactly.
Dogs and new birds.
Yeah. Do,
Our birds are our new overlord.
Are birds flightless entirely now?
There are no birds.
But there was a miasma in the air.
Thank you.
so obviously, shut the book up. So obviously, you have to.
That was your story, my good man.
I know. So obviously, you have to
Finish
do
your
that.
sentence.
Shut. You have to do that in the background.
Shut.
You have to do that in the background. You can't just stop and think and process all that information and then start the improv scene.
You sure?
But, the point I'm
Stop
trying to
processing
make
and
regarding this like three-hold
Three-toed sloth.
three-hold stock and the, toenail
pygmy toad
clippings.
sloth.
Oh yeah, this was the question. Man, we milked this.
Yeah, the three-hold socks and the toenail clippings is that part of the way things connect is as you extrapolate on an idea, things get further and further away.
From
and
reality.
as you look at it, like, as the zoomed out picture, you go, wait, how did we get from A to B? But when you zoom in, you see how they all connect.
Yeah, I just like to immerse myself in the character and just be like, exactly, if this is true, what else is true? And also just sort of like, I'm in this world now, can't think about what Paul would do.
So, Luke, we want your take on this question now. How did we go from 3 holes in a sock to eating other people's toenails?
Didn't you say this was 2-part? Can we skip to the next part? Do you even remember what that's referencing?
Kind of.
Master
Next
Chef.
Yes,
question.
I ate other people's toenails in terms of the because I was the president.
Oh, see, we didn't remember that. See?
Yeah, that was my
See,
problem.
that's why
Oh, yeah!
was-
we
press
gotta.
conference.
Oh, yeah.
president of Turkey.
How
is
did
a
we go
traitor.
from one thing to another? Because
Brought to justice by the
an
internet.
There were different
There was
games
a different
also.
ask for.
yeah,
There
it
were
was a
different games,
Yeah.
different scenarios.
We asked someone from the audience, hey, what did Luke do? And someone said eating toenails, and we for some reason went with that. It was your fault more than ours, James.
Yes. How do we go from Saturday to Sunday? I don't know.
You should have
Passage
given
of
a better
time.
suggestion, James.
Yeah, James.
James.
Please come to our shows next time, James.
James,
No,
don't
James.
leave.
James. What's the next question?
Okay. This is,
I'm using my mind powers to transmit all the misogyny out of my brain.
That's gonna be tough, buddy.
okay. Please tell me more about these meat bits.
Ooh, wait.
Where is that
Love me some meat bits.
indisclosed play?
Undisclosed
Plow?
place
Place.
with the
Where is
delicious
this?
meat bits.
Where's this undisclosed place? And it does say undisclosed. Place with the delicious meat bits.
All right,
Oh,
so
it
this is
says
another.
undisclosed.
All right, so this is another reference to a scene that we did, but I'd also like to mention that very night I went home, found like some sort of like Italian salami type thing, and chopped it into the tiniest bits I could because that scene made me curious about like what eating individual small bits of meat was, and it was fucking
Probably awesome,
fantastic.
yeah.
Just grabbing like a
shredded
handful.
cheese.
Yeah, exactly. It's like shredded cheese, but with meat. And I was like, I'm bored. It's a good board snack, but it had protein, so it like filled me up after a decent amount. As opposed to like shredded cheese, where granted cheese also has protein in it, or like chips or something like that, where you just eat mindlessly and you're like, oh, I ate the whole bag. I feel ashamed. Now I realize I'm full.
Yeah, it's
But-
not like you had slices of salami. You had
yeah,
little chunks. you
little
call
chunks,
them.
like tung 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 with a knife, like really itty bitty pieces, and it was just sort of like, this is nice.
So the
Claw action.
undisclosed location with meat bits was Paul's house.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
I can accept that. I can accept that.
Well done.
Was that the final question?
Yeah. Yeah, it was. That's from Kim, by the way.
Thank you, Kim.
Possible?
Kim Possible.
You always have like a last name that's like this meme.
What's the sitch?
I've never seen the show.
What's a sitch?
I've never seen the show. Although I heard that Wade worked from
fucking
home, and Wade predicted the future.
Just because he
Like
worked
The
from home.
Simpsons.
Yeah, it's like The Simpsons. Yeah, The Simpsons predicted because happened.
Oh.
Again,
That's so
with
interesting that you said that.
How so? Drew said it before.
Yeah, but
Drew
we,
said some stuff.
but we didn't. We actually cut that part out.
Oh, Well, in that case, I'm cutting out both the first part and the second part. You'll never know, you stupid idiots. You
Yeah.
could probably ascertain it.
We bleeped that out. But there's something I have to bring this up.
Confess.
going on, man?
Confess your
And
sins.
it is in fact an apology.
You know my door's always open.
That's why he's apologizing. He opened it.
So last podcast we were going into the whole spookiness, and we had a couple of scenes going on.
Okay.
At the end of that one scene, I said
No, it's okay.
It's not okay.
Are you apologizing for saying that you were black or that your pre was foamy?
No, the second part is perfectly fine. All right? Foamy pre that I am not apologizing for that, and I never will.
Can I please get you on record saying I am not apologizing for my foamy pre?
No, I'm not saying that full sentence. So, I don't think it's funny.
Can you say the word foamy for me, please?
No, I don't think it's funny for somebody to.
You said the word.
Somebody to think that changing their race is like. I don't think that's a joke. I don't think that's funny. But it came out, and you know what? That is what it is. I was tired. Maybe we can go back into the whole like oh, your unconscious mind thought that, and we can delve into like
Why do you think you're black?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we end every podcast with us apologizing for things on the previous podcast that we thought about?
Drew's got some.
Yeah, Drew, you'll have a large section of next podcast.
Yeah. But I also
Oh, there's more.
that's my apology, I guess.
You didn't say sorry.
Sorry for saying that because that's not funny.
Are you apologizing for the foamy thing, or
No.
you're not? You're proud of that.
It's not that I'm proud or not proud. It's
Of what? Of
It's
what?
just a part of
It just is.
It just exists.
What does?
Foamy cum.
I want to hear him say
I
it.
didn't.
It's
Well,
not
then
cum.
correct me.
It's not cum.
I know.
Cum can be foamy. Pre cannot.
I know. Let him correct me.
Okay. What I'm curious about is that why
foam qualities.
how did that make the final cut? Because now this is a mark on my name in like the history of time. We have
I mean,
Drew
poor
saying
Drew
something,
fucks kids.
something about kids,
Yeah.
which was kind of.
You absolutely said
I
that. The origin of us making this joke was you going, "Why not fuck a kid?"
That is not what
Yeah,
I
it was-
said.
it
It is
was
quite
really-
no. I can promise you. I said like, "Why not go the step further? Why not?" And then Drew, you very specifically said,
Yeah,
"Fuck a kid."
yeah, you did say
Like
that.
those were those three words that you said. Denying it is not helping your case.
There's
But-
not context.
Okay, but like that, then Drew did. Drew said that very early on, and that was left in. And there are a few other occasions where we said something that was like bad or like, oh, I don't want that, whatever on the thing.
You never said you didn't want it on the podcast.
I didn't.
That's
You're right.
That was your error. You need to tell me when you don't want something on the podcast. So
Just say it right away, apparently.
Drew, not right. Well, I guess I will be editing this tonight. So Drew, make sure you send your 3 paragraphs of what you don't want included to me by tonight. Thank you very much. Drew is, by the way, a champion. Drew has never once just went like, you know what? I don't think this should enter in. The few times that I've censored him, granted more times than anyone else really, has been just because I was thinking of my own image for being connected to him.
Because he talks too damn much. Just cut it out.
Fine, I'll be quiet more. Speak less.
Can you lean into the camera
Say
and just,
less.
give your most genuine, like, thank you for listening to the podcast and just sing us off? That's not gonna be good. A little bit farther away.
Thank you.
I'm cutting it off there.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to the podcast. So long. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye. Adieu. Adieu.
Wait, you're trying to do the adieu and you to you and you and you to Auf Wiedersehen goodbye?
Yeah, it doesn't come.
I have never seen The Sound of Music.
What? That clipped the shit out of the mic. What's your name?
Drew.
What's your name? What's your name?
Whoa, you're pointing at him.
What's your name?
I don't know. Wait, Leslie.
What's your name?
Bye.